Not so much where it feels like you're going to pinch your groin. Groin pinching is something that is a lot of times very common when people are experiencing low back and hip pain, but they shouldn't experience it through this exercise, is that they just get sloppy, okay? The goal is not to be sloppy, it's to create some tension here as we're encountering some rotation, okay? I like to use my hands kind of as rudders, or you can use your elbows to kind of push yourself around to each direction, slowing yourself, getting almost as close as you can towards the ground without having any pain or any problem in the hip or the low back.
Start off hands and knees, push through the hands, curl the toes under, bring the knees slightly up, hold and breathe. If you feel good and you feel like you can progress, I want you to stay nice and firm through the core and bring one leg up and back down, okay? Press through the hands again, press through the toes, keep the core firm, switch, and back down. And I want you guys coming all the way like this. It's that position, okay? But let's start by first driving through the heels, keeping the core active, bring the hips up off the floor or the table, and hold. If this feels good, this is where we're going to progress. We're gonna go single leg, okay? From here, I'm taking this foot, this hip that needs to be strengthened, dipping under and back up, okay? Staying firm through my left butt cheek, the one that's down. I'm not rotating at all. I'm staying firm, bringing this foot, threading the needle through, or threading the thread through the needle, whatever it may be, and coming back up, okay? Here and up. I'm feeling my right hip flexor work, my left glute work together at the same time, okay? And switch sides. Whew, I don't even have to do. I'm going to set up. I'm gonna go knees up, feet up, okay? You can keep your knees as wide as you need to, whatever is comfortable for your hips, okay? But this position should not be painful. The way we're gonna activate the core and the hip in this position is one, I'm going to bring my chin to my chest and breathe out. From here, I feel my low back drive into the table. I feel my activated core, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my left hand, I'm gonna put it against the inside of my right knee. And I'm going to drive in this direction. So it's almost at like a diagonal through my knee, but I need to turn that hip flexor on to strengthen it. So I'm going to keep the resistance. I'm gonna take a break for a second.
The strap is, it's got loops about every 6 inches. You can get your hands in there. And if you have arthritic hands and you have a hard time grabbing a belt, the sheet, or whatever it is, this eliminates that.
Well, even not. I mean, a lot of people, it takes a fair amount of force to bring that leg up.
Sure, and more comfortable. And simply relax.
So if I'm looking at Brad, he's making a 4 with his legs.
Sure.
So.
And I'm going to compare the distance the knee to the floor here. We can see how mine look.
So again, we're looking at around maybe about 6 inches for that.
Now let's look at this side.
And that's a little more because you were almost touching my fist on the other side.
Okay.
Here you got about 2 inches off.
So I could stretch this just with my hand here, or I might just go right to the next.
Yeah, so there's kind of a 3-step progression here.
Right.
You can do it flat, you can do it with the knee up, and then there'll be one more you can do.
Yep. So I'm going to go this way and see how far I can push the knee.
That's a little quick, Brad. I'd be doing pressure on. You say the words, pressure on, pressure off. That forces you to take that amount of time.
Actually, I was just assessing.
Oh, you're just assessing.
Yep, so I'm just seeing how far. There we go. And then I want to go this way. And actually, I'm going by how far my elbow locks. I don't feel a big difference right to left here. But you'll see people that'll go like to here, and then the other one will go to here.
Right.
And then that's when the pressure on, pressure off, or the sustained stretch. The other way that you can jump right into this, and this is where you can grab here and pull here. And this gets the piriformis muscle as well.
And this is one where at times you might require the strap too. I mean, because it's a little bit difficult to perform.
And more people will use a strap on this, including myself. I would want the strap because it's just a little more.
Yeah, it's a little more difficult to do.
A little more distance to reach, and this just makes it easier. Oh, and this feels so good, Bob.
You really look like a pretzel on this one, Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get
or
around
a belt.
the foot and you can get you can actually stretch even the calf while you're stretching the
Sure.
whole posterior chain
Yeah,
here.
get that more up on the toe. But that's a pretty aggressive
Yeah,
stretch.
that's an aggressive stretch.
If you do that, you'll know
But
exactly
if you've
what
got
we're
a time
talking
constraint, you're trying to get stretched out in
Sure.
a minimal amount of time, you can stretch the calf and the hamstring at the same time.
Two for the price of one.
All
that-
right.
Brad invented it, but he's the first one that showed it to me. You cross your ankles and you grab on to your ankles, and you're gonna pull forward like this and give a good
That's a good one.
Yeah, oh, this is a bad one for me. So you're gonna have your legs abducted, and you're gonna try to sit back like a frog. Oh my God, I don't have much motion there.
Yeah, I mean, you sound like an old man, Bob.
Yeah,
Just relax. Breathe.
Oh, you can go like this and cheat and go like that, but no, you got to keep your ankles out.
Yep, that makes a big difference from here.
Oh, lordy, lordy.
Yeah. So nice soft carpet or some cushions will help the knees if you have a little.
Which this really isn't advanced until you go like this and grab your ankle and you put your elbow against your knee and you can move it into external rotation while you're stretching the hip flexor.
So here
Stretching this hip flexor and stretching this leg into external rotation,
you get two.
which Brad has plenty of.
Oh, two stretches in one. Boy,
Good for people who do squats.
it is really good for people who learn karate who want to get their kicks higher. I'm telling you, it's just side kicks. Ooh.
All right. You can also go right bone, right, have it pop out of your hip. So
That's a nice way to think about
you
it.
have this lined up kind of where your belly is, and you're going to lean forward, and you lean off to the side like this.
Yeah. So yeah, you feel that just above that greater trochanter, the hip there.
You're going to noodle around, as Kelly Starrett likes to say, and you can actually move your hip into internal rotation and then do it again.
So take that foot and bring it out
Yep.
that way.
Or you can bring your hip into internal rotation and do it again off to the side like this.
Yeah, well, you just get different fibers and different tissues stretched and get a complete.
Against the floor as possible. The foot is going to be just firmly against the other leg. What I'm going to do from there is take the hand on the opposite side of the bent knee. I'm going to place it on top of the knee, and then the other hand just rests on the floor like this for comfort. Let's get in good upright posture. Again, make sure to keep the knee flat. I'm going to just rotate towards the opposite side as far as I feel comfortable. Actually, I just got a nice crack in my back right there. It's very common to get releases in the lower back with this stretch. So if you do get one, again, it's just gas being released. Once you feel
I know some of us have done the hamstring stretch where you put the belt and or towel on the foot. This flexes your ankle, right, and stretches your calf. We're looking to lengthen our hamstring. So let's place the towel and or band behind the back of the ankle, okay? In 10 seconds, we're gonna begin. Let's go ahead, bend your left knee so your foot's flat and your pelvis can stay tucked, the low back is flat. Now let's very slowly start to extend the leg. Clock is on. Now, I have pretty good flexibility in my hamstring, so I'm going to try to straighten my leg as much as possible and pull with my hand. Notice my low back is flat. I'm going to relax my head onto the ground. Now, if you cannot straighten your leg all the way, remember that's okay. What you're going to do is during this minute and 30, you're going to think about pulling through the band of the towel, trying to extend the knee, and you will feel a stretch in the hamstring, okay? So knee, again, is towards my body. I'm pulling up, attempting to feel that stretch on the back of the leg. Now, once you get that good stretch, just think about adding pressure. Breathe freely. Relax your shoulders, relax your face, your head, your neck, and just keep that slight pressure on that hamstring by straightening and pulling through this band. Okay, we are getting ready to cross that 60-second mark. All you're doing is breathing freely, keeping the tension. Remember, you're pulling up, trying to extend your tibia fibula, okay, bones in the lower leg. That way the hamstring is going to get the lengthening nature of this. Reminding ourselves that we're doing this so that we can add a pliable nature back to the back of this leg and this hamstring so you can take tension and stress off of the knee and or low back. All right, here we go. Good stretch. Don't force the stretch, just a good stretch for 3 more seconds. 2 more seconds. 1. Now everyone slowly easing out and disengaging. Now remember, do not execute this static stretch without first warming that muscle up. We had you do that hip bridge before. Do some type of an exercise that's going to give blood flow to that area. Stretching after you have blood flow to the actual muscle, and a static nature helps increase the flexibility, and that's where we're going. Welcome back. My name is Jeff Gott, exercise physiologist at Practical Fitness Studios and your personal online trainer at msworkouts.com. Okay, for those
His hands flat on his desk. He's going to step 1 foot back, keeping the feet hip distance apart. Both feet are going to face forward. We're going to keep the pelvis nice and square. Both thighs are squeezing tight. In this position, you want to stay nice and long through the spine. We don't want to round the spine. We're going to lengthen all the way through the back of the neck here. He's then going to start to shift his hips back as far as he can comfortably without rounding his spine. Again, we're keeping the thighs nice and tight, pelvis square, shoulders relaxed, and the back of the neck long. You should feel this stretch from possibly the bottom of the foot all the way up through the calf, up the back of the leg. You're going to hold this for several deep breaths, staying nice and long through your spine, up to a minute. Go ahead and step.
आपकी फिंगर को इंटरलॉक करके यह ग्रिप बना लेनी है। फिर घुटने को इस तरीके से पकड़ लेना है। इनके बाद बॉडी को इस तरीके से जो राइट नी है वह डायरेक्शन में नीचे ले जाना है। इस तरीके से आपकी जो चीन है वह घुटने के ऊपर टच होनी चाहिए। यहाँ पर आके फिर आपको घुटने को अच्छी तरीके से खींच के कमर को जितना हो सके उतना नीचे झुकाना है। यहाँ पर आके 10 काउंट होल्ड करिए, फिर छोड़ दीजिए। इस तरीके से दूसरी साइड लेना है। यह घुटने यानी कि लेफ्ट घुटने के डायरेक्शन में बॉडी को झुकाना है। यह ग्रिप बना लेनी है, जितना हो सके उतना नीचे झुकाना है। आपकी चीन घुटने के कांटेक्ट में आनी चाहिए। यहाँ पर आके फिर आपको घुटने को खींच के बॉडी को जितना हो सके उतना नीचे झुकाना है। अच्छा सा स्ट्रेच फील होना चाहिए। यहाँ पर आपके जो राइट साइड के बैक मसल है वहाँ पर स्ट्रेच फील होगा और यह पोजीशन में